Welcome, new and old friends. My name is 242, and 42 got us one story she borrowed from Blake Blizzard. It seems he is a friend of As the Raven Dreams, and 42 seems to have liked his stories. So, turn off your lights, make sure your doors and windows are locked. Things are about to get spooky. My father, the abusive bastard, taught me that you never know just how much it will take until someone finally snaps. His torso and legs are now almost twice as long, so I push just a little more on the gas, hoping the rope around his waist and the ankles don't rip before he does. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. I finished my sophomore year. I don't think I'll live to be a senior. By Blake Blizzard. I just graduated my sophomore year in high school. I don't think I'll make my senior year. My town celebrates a unique ritual every year. My name is Andy. I live in a normal small town besides the yearly event, which I will explain very soon. I do normal things, I have normal friends, we play baseball, we go to the movies, you get the point. I'm putting this story out there because I think it's time for everyone in the world to know about my town's unique ritual. My school is decently small. My graduating class will be somewhere around 100 or so people, and at the end of my junior year, which is tomorrow, we will all be taking part in a miles-long walk. I know, doesn't sound that bad, right? I can tell you that it will be. I can't tell you exactly why because I don't know much about the thing. Part of the tradition is the victors of this walk do not divulge any details about what happens. We've pieced a little bit here and there, but largely we're in the dark. I've spent a lot of time thinking and worrying about this, and it's happening soon. So much for my summer vacation. Summer's out, as Alice said, the final bell has rung, and I'm sitting in the parking lot of my school. I'm officially a junior, as long as I survive the summer. The walk starts on the last Sunday in June. At least they give us a couple of weeks to enjoy the summer. We all think it's strange that the walk is after our sophomore year and not junior or even senior year. I suspect the creator of this event doesn't want kids to stress out about the walk in their senior year. Just a guess. Briefing is in a week. Okay, me and about 99 of my classmates were just told a little more about what I will now call the last walk. I know it was going to be bad and people would die, but I just didn't know how scary this would be. The council basically just said goodbye to us because they don't know how many will survive this walk. The basic rules are as follows. You can bring whatever you want. You can run if you want to, but you should conserve your energy. Prepare for being out in the elements for a week or more. Time moves differently when the walk starts. We also can't stop moving, only to evacuate, they said. There will be no need to sleep. The only thing they physically gave us was a little sheet of a notepad paper with the different areas we would be walking through. I'll go through those as I attack the walk, and that's pretty much it. They will bus all of us to the starting line and let us go on our way. First one to cross the finish, whoever that may be, will win. The prize, they said, is surviving, and they hinted that there may be another surprise for the winner. one more journal entry before I lay down for the night. I doubt I'll get any sleep, as tomorrow at daybreak begins the walk. You might be wondering what I'm most worried about. I am too. I want to document this, not only because I might not survive, but I want posterity for this. I'm not against the walk, but I don't completely understand it either. I've talked with numerous survivors and victors from my town. To be clear, you can survive and not be the winner. There will be many survivors, but just one winner, like any race. But there will be fatalities. That's what we don't understand. What is out there? What is waiting for us on our potential last walk? I will find out in mere hours, and hopefully I'll be able to describe it to you all. I'm bringing my phone, wired earbuds, an actual voice recorder, and even my laptop. Hopefully, I might be able to upload a podcast while I'm out. Just have to do it on the go. It's a hot and humid June morning. I have my bag packed. I've loaded up on dehydrated food, water, MREs, etc. My electronics are charged, and I have dozens of backed up batteries should I need them. I have to stop writing. A big man is throwing black hoods on my classmates. I'll see you at the starting line. I'm still on my knees with the rest of my classmates. The chaperones told us we are not able to move or open our eyes until we cannot hear the bus anymore. My eyes are closed so hard it hurts my head. When the hood was yanked off my head, I could feel the sun immediately. It feels unnaturally hot on my face. The engine has long been gone. I can't hear anything. No people, no sounds of nature. I slowly open my eyes and see no one. It's just me. Taking in my surroundings, I can see my possessions have been placed by my side. No classmates. I'm looking at appears to be a subdivision. All the houses look the same. One road stretches out in front of me. White houses with white fence line either side of the paved road. This must be the neighborhood, which is the first location that starts the last walk. Besides the weird serenity of this place, it still feels like a normal subdivision. This won't last long. Slowly I make my way down the street. There's no wind, no animals, and no sound. I didn't know what to expect, but I definitely didn't expect that we would be dropped off in different locations. This must be some kind of strategy set up by the council so we don't get to work together. I wasn't planning on working with anyone anyway, but the company would have been nice. As I started passing home after home, I noticed that not only are they all the same, but every home had a family seen inside. Not moving, not eating, but sitting at what appeared to be a dinner table in the dining area. There may be food on the tables, but I can't see that clearly. The mother, father, and 2 children do not move. They stare at each other like statues. This has been a strange start, but I was ready for anything, so I marched on. As I'm looking at the still family members to my left and right, I almost ran right into an older woman standing in my path on the sidewalk. Thankfully, I must have sensed something or someone was in my way and saw her before an awkward collision may have happened. I moved to the side and did one of those facial movements that said, "Hello, I'm acknowledging you as a person, but I don't want to actually open my mouth to make words." I accompanied said facial expression with a slight head nod. Then she spoke. "My son dies here." "Oh," I choked out. I'm sorry? That's all I could get out. I was completely thrown off by this. I slightly picked up my speed, wanting to get away from this woman as soon as possible, but still didn't want to appear rude. Weird all around. When I was about 30 feet away, I glanced over my shoulder, seeing she was standing in the same spot as when I passed her, but she was just staring at me. I swiftly moved my stare away from her and back to the path in front of me. As I was ending the first phase of the walk, I noticed something rather strange. The residents of the neighborhood were all out on their lawns, staring at me, motionless. I again picked up the pace. A quiet buzz started in my head. I could have been in the air, but it felt like it was just inside my head. The tree lines were approaching. I was almost done with the first level. The buzzing intensified. The residents looked like they were becoming agitated. I didn't know if anyone dies at this level, but I know I won't perish here. I made a dash for the tree line. I'm out of the normal Rockwell hell space. See you guys later. Once I got within a few steps of the cryptic woods, I slowed my pace. I couldn't stop, of course, but I went as slowly as I could. I didn't even process what the lady said. She said her son dies here, not died. What the hell does that mean? He dies multiple times? He dies every day? Man, I don't want to know the answer. I just want to move on and get this event over with. Okay, good. No more buzzing. No more weird neighbors. No more residents of the neighborhood. I've now gotten into the cryptic woods. As we speak, I'm looking up at the dense forest of massive pines. The trees are thick, but the floor is open, if that makes sense. I feel like I've been here before. It's a comfort. I suddenly realized that I have not eaten since I started. But like they said, time and space are different here. I forced myself to slam down a Cliff Bar, still admiring the scenery. Frozen, I can't move. A light shines through the forest canopy. The most glorious tree I've ever seen lies before me. I've seen this before. The Ever Tree. It's half alive, half dead. So unnatural in the middle of this beautiful forest. I feel the energy. I think I'll just sit here. Boom! My eyes open after being closed for maybe half a second. I'm still standing. Engines and artillery are coming. Bark and grass are flying around me from the rounds being shot in my direction. I heard one word in my head. Move! I must have stopped for too long. The damn tree tried to kill me. I didn't even see it anymore. Not wasting another second, I moved quick. Didn't have to run, like they said, but I walked freaking quick. Apparently this pulled the goon squad off me. Now I know they are watching anyways. The most sobering moment so far, for sure. From now on, I don't have to enjoy the view so much. Let's just move towards the finish line. Leaving the woods felt good, and I can see now that the first couple levels were an appetizer. Stepping out of the woods, I'm immediately in another suburban type area. Following the sidewalk, I see only abandoned houses and trash all over the place. And this, as Shel Silverstein said, is where the sidewalk ends. I immediately felt like something was very wrong. Saying I was creeped out is an understatement. The sidewalk I was following abruptly ended. The scenery was so unsettling, I guess I didn't notice that my cement path was ending. Staying on the edge of the sidewalk, I looked down at what appeared to be a 10-story drop. Looking around in a panicked state, I had no other moves. It was like I was a piece of Monopoly board, but the position of my top hat was hovered over an unsurvivable drop. My mind was racing. How did I get here? Why do we have to do this? Does anyone else in the country or the world do this? I don't want to be here. I'm just going to jump. I'm going to just end it. Just walk forward. What? Hello? I have not heard another person's voice in this whole trip. I took note of how tired and hungry I was. I also discovered how sore I was too. I must be delusional. Did someone just talk to me? I'm serious. If something is here, say something. I can't do this walk anymore. I'm tired, but I tried, but I can't. I can't anymore. The jump felt great. I was ready to give up. I did give up. When I hit the bottom, I woke up, checked myself for injuries or bleeding. I found nothing. I did not feel great, but I was safe. Who are you? I yelled to the voice. Nothing. Andy is still alive, and I've made it to the next stage. After walking for what I think is another 4 or 5 miles, I have found Claremont Street. Still tired, but still motivated to walk across the stage as a high school senior, I move. In this stage, I have to find the sunken house. No one was sure what that meant, but I should know what that means when I see it. The problem was the temperature was quickly dropping. My normal climate growing up was a desert-style high 80 to 90 degrees in the summer. I had friends from the north that grew up with this incredibly cold temps. I could never imagine. But right here, right now, I was glad I was prepared. It must have been about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what time it is anymore, so it could be morning, or it could be at night. I just don't know. Using all my gear to keep warm, I finally found the sunken house. There are so many homes here, but so many more that are empty. The one I was looking for is sunk. I'm so glad I saw it because it was so subtle. There were 2 golden lions on either side of the driveway. The house is half underground, half above. Not sure what I'm supposed to do. I just stood there and said a little prayer. At this point in the challenge, I'm delirious. I found the checkpoint. I've survived to this point. I found the sunken house, which will slingshot me to the next level. I wonder how many of my friends have died at this point. I know they have. I'm not naive. I'm waiting for my undeniable death too. I survived the neighborhood. I survived the cryptic woods, including the Evertree. And I just escaped the weird ending sidewalk with the sunken house afterwards. All I can do is keep moving now. I'm so tired. My feet hurt. My legs hurt. My mind is still fresh and scared of what I've seen. I think being fully aware is the worst right now. I'm so tired. What I found now is an awful development simply titled The Homes. One moment I'm walking outside, the next I'm inside a long hallway. It looks like a retirement home, complete with the malfunctioning lights and dripping ceilings. If you've had family in one of these places, then you no doubt familiar with the smell. Help me. I almost fell over as I was so startled. Hello? I yelled into the dark hallway. Help me. It felt like it was coming closer. I heard quiet footsteps that sounded like they were behind me. The soft steps becoming louder, and they were moving faster. I used every ounce of energy to run as hard and as fast as I could. The further I got down the hallway, the longer it stretched. Panic was setting in. Out of the corner of my eye, I started seeing people, or what looks like people stepping out of their room. All I could hear now was heavy breathing, and not mine. I begged and prayed I would get out of here. My legs were on absolute fire. I really didn't think I could get out of here. I closed my eyes and kept running. When I opened them, I was on the ground. Quickly getting to my feet to avoid the stoppage and therefore immediate death, I saw I was outside the homes. Thank God. The smell was still there, but I had somehow made it. Taking one last look over my shoulder, I was greeted with maybe the most frightening image I have seen so far. Little shadowy faces with red eyes peering at me from the windows. This walk has gotten much more serious. Escaping the homes, where I bet most of my colleagues will meet their end, I still move forward. The next level appears, the 9-Mile Tower. It is something out of a medieval story, a glorious tower that reaches to the clouds. When they told us the name of the level at the briefing, I had no idea what to expect. Staring at it now, what do I do? I'll be walking to it soon. Do I enter and climb? Is there something I need to find in there? Like a princess or something? I smell pastry. I smell steak and chicken. There must be a feast going on inside the tower. It smells amazing. A voice from the wind speaks to me. Come to the tower. We know you are tired. A meal will be waiting for you. Man, that sounds wonderful. I suppose I can stop just ever so briefly. I have not been this hungry the whole trip. That Cliff Bar is a distant memory. I'm staying at the foot of the tower. Being this close makes the tower much more impressive. The castle-like exterior stretches upwards to the sky for a seemingly infinite distance. The drawbridge slowly opens before me, making the smell of the feast more irresistible. A golden sign just has an up arrow posted on it. I take it I'm supposed to climb. As I take one step forward, the spell is broken. Wait a minute, I say to myself. If I go inside this giant tower, how am I supposed to get out? I can't stop moving. If I enter, I don't think I'll be able to leave. Nice try, tower. Nice try. Walk. The last few stops have been the most difficult yet. I think that means the ending is near. As I trudge along the empty field, I finally see it. Streamers, balloons, tables with what I hope is real food. The relief of this nightmare being over is incredible. I can already feel myself going back to the real world. The closer I get, I can make out some people. Teachers from my school and some other alumni from the ritual, I presume. There are also a couple bleachers set up for the townsfolk. All in all, I say there's about 200 or so people here. Wherever here is. The only thing I don't see is my fellow students. Either I'm the first one to finish, or they're all dead. Our winner! The principal shouted. The townspeople gave me a loud round of applause. You have completed the walk. Now have a seat, young man. You earned it. Not sure sitting will feel any better. I fell to the ground. For the moment, it does feel so good to stop. My body has a fire raging inside of it. Just a few minutes later, there are some classmates of mine limping to the finish. We all give each other smiles and nods of congratulations. The adults must have been tracking all 100 or so of us. 75 of us survived. A record, apparently. We were directed to a podium behind a table. The table had a sheet covering whatever contents were underneath. What happened next is something I'll have to live with for the rest of my life. Being the victor, they told me, was a huge honor. I would be known as a local legend and would be financially taken care of to whatever college I decide to attend. Remember when I said the winner gets another special surprise? The principal took down the sheet on the table, revealing a handgun. You have survived the last walk. You now get the added bonus of taking the life of one of your fellow classmates. My vision blurred and I became weak. We understand this is something of a shock. Everyone goes through it. However, it is intended as a reward and a release of sorts. Also, not killing anyone is not an option. If you decline, it will go to the runner-up and you will be killed. And so on and so on. This also ensures that no one divulges the secrets of our little annual ritual, as you now have blood on your hands like we all do. The smile on his face was so cold I didn't know if it was a prank or a test. The faces of the townspeople told me it was neither. I grabbed the weapon, feeling the cold weight in my hand, and I just stared at it for some time. Without any more delay, I turned to my classmates, pulling the trigger and striking a boy I never really talked to in the chest. It was over. I felt no remorse. I felt no anger. I wanted to put this nightmare behind me. A couple of men dressed in suits quietly put a sheet over the deceased and carried him away. The crowd gave me a polite clap. The rest of my classmates stood in silence. Slowly the gathering ended, and I lost consciousness. I woke up days, maybe weeks later in my room. It was a warm summer's day. I was back in town, and everything seemed like it went back to normal. Hello, summer vacation. Now I can get ready for my junior year. I used the cheapest materials available when I built my house, as I didn't think it would make a difference. I immediately began to regret this decision as I watched the undead easily smash their way in. I do hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you, Blake, for letting me read your story. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. If you're a new friend, think about subscribing and turning that pretty little bell to all notifications. There is a link to the author down below, as well as my tree link. You will find my Patreon, my merch, if you're interested. Of course, I love to hear what you think, but let me get you the Sunday word first. So last week's Sunday word was reinforced, and I got 3 entries, and they're on screen right now. I will also be posting a picture on my Twitter of them. So, for this Sunday, the word is poison, Poison, which means a substance that is capable of causing the illness or death of a living organism when introduced or absorbed. So, if you're on YouTube, write me a sentence down below with using the word poison, and if you're on my podcast, go to Twitter and @ me using this same word. But as always, guys, thank you for listening and watching. It really means the world to me. Sleep tight and don't let 42 bite.